Hey guys, this is Dinosaur, and today I'm gonna show you how to draw this. But before we're gonna start the video, make sure you subscribe. It really helps a lot. If you haven't seen GodZilla yet, or you haven't seen Kong yet, make sure you do see it. Great movies, and yeah, I kind of figured that a lot of you guys might want to know how to draw the fight between Godzilla and Kong. So yeah, let's get into the video. So what you want to start off with is basically draw the like the spine of what you want to draw. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the spine like over here. This is gonna be Kong, and then this is gonna be Godzilla. So Godzilla stands a little bit more straight upright than Kong in the reference. And I'm gonna draw a circle for where his head is gonna be. So this is gonna be Godzilla, and this is gonna be Kong. Kong is a little bit, I would say he's a little bit bigger. I mean, his head looks a little bit bigger, but I'm pretty sure that the body of Godzilla would be a lot larger. So in the reference, actually, Kong stands a little bit farther back. I'm just gonna draw that area for where I want him to be. So this is gonna be his head, and he has a little bit of a bigger head than Godzilla. So I'm gonna draw his head a little bit. I'm gonna make this circle a little bit bigger. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get these basic things, because this is going to be the reference to where Kong and Godzilla are standing in the drawing. Then what you want to do is you want to basically map out the body area and like where the neck is going to be, where the rest of the body is going to be. So the body of Kong kind of goes like this. So he has a neck here, and then he has like a chest area over here, and then this whole area goes back like this. So he has like a very arched back, I would say. Kong has a little bit of an, like he has his back arched like this. And for Godzilla is basically like kind of like a dinosaur or reptile sort of, because this is gonna be his neck, a little bit more like this, to be honest. And then his body will be huge, so he has like, that's gonna be kind of his body. So now for Kong, I would say he has a little bit more of a more muscular chest area right here, and then his belly will be going like this. Then over here would be his shoulder, and over here would be his lower arm and part of his hand, kind of hanging like that. And then over here we can see his fist going straight at Godzilla's head, and I would say his fist would be right over there. I'm just gonna draw it like this, just the basic shapes. That's very important, I think, to get the basic shapes in before you're gonna start off with, before you're gonna start the rest of the drawing. This is gonna be a shoulder muscle, I mean like a back muscle, I guess. So that's the basics for Kong. Godzilla will have a huge arm right here, huge. So you want to draw a shape like this. And I'm not really sure if you can see it on camera very good, but this is just the sketching phase. So if you just want to know how to draw it directly, because I get a lot of complaints about my video is not being dark enough, my drawing's not being dark enough. And so yeah, basically if you want to get to the darker part of the video, like where the drawing is gonna get a little bit darker, you just have to skip, because I usually do this phase and then later I go over it with darker, or just press harder down on the paper. So now we have all the basics. So basically you would have a lot of spikes over here on the top of GodZilla's back and stuff and neck. So now we wanna get to the shapes of the head and of Kong and the head of GodZilla, and this is where it's gonna get a little bit more tricky. So Kong, in my reference photo, he has a larger head than GodZilla, and GodZilla has a very small head compared to his body. So we have to make sure, wait, you can kind of see it over here. I might have just failed a little bit on the head of Kong, but it still looks like kind of an ape, so I'm okay with it. So yeah, as you can see, the head of Kong is way larger than the head of GodZilla. So we need to make sure that in our drawing, the head of GodZilla is going to be smaller than the head of Kong. Alright, what we want to do is draw the front of his face over here on Kong's head, on this kind of a circle. So his head is going to be a little bit smaller than the circle itself, I would say. Well, we could just, right, so we're gonna start with the basic shape. So the top of his head is kind of flat like this, I would say, and then it goes a lot like this, and then over here would be his neck. Then around over here it caves in a little bit, and then we go to his kind of eyebrow area, which goes like this. Very large, big and pronounced eyebrows he has. Goes like this, and then it goes this way for his nosehole area, and he doesn't have the nose of, for example, humans. So this would be his nose, and then he has very big and, well, just very big in general lips, I would say. So this is gonna be his lip. And then he is roaring or screaming or whatever you would call it. So his mouth is opened like this, and then over here it goes like this. A little bit of a chin. He has a very big head in my reference, and here would be his ear, about over here, so about the height of the area of his eye. So here would be his eye, about right there, and over here would be his ear, like that. So this is the basic of how Kong would be like. I mean, like the head of Kong would be like. And now we want to focus on the head of GodZilla. What you could do is you could just go for his head to look straight at him, which would go kind of like this. So this would be the circle that we've drawn right there. So what you want to do is you want to make the top of the hat flat, and you want to go down at an angle like that, and then you want to go like this, make a very short snout, make it go all the way back, and of course he has an open mouth, so make sure you pay attention to that as well. And there we have the head of Godzilla from the side perspective. And then everything would still be the same, because I would be right there and we would have this gummy area, a couple of teeth, so that's how you want to draw it if you don't feel comfortable drawing in perspectives. That's actually the way how I would draw it, because I don't feel comfortable drawing in perspectives yet. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. So we're gonna try to do the same thing. So we want his upper jaw to be like right over here. Do the same thing. Make it smile a little bit right there. And then do the bottom jaw over here as well. The same way again. Make sure you do draw his jawline right there. And then we should start over here for the top of his head and then just go straight that way. Just erase this a little bit over here. And there we have the right size for Godzilla's head. I would say it's a little bit too angled, so I would like it to be a little bit more like looking straight at Kong, I would say. But I guess this is kind of fine. So over here we have his tongue, over here we have the gummy part of his jaw, and we wanna map in his whole upper jaw like that, and over here in this area we will have to draw his eye. So in my opinion, this looks a lot better than what we had before. His head is a little bit smaller, his neck is about the right size, and it fits in with the body that we already mapped in. Alright, let's see how long I'm recording for. 25 minutes. Alright, we can still keep going. Okay, so now you wanna refine. I'm just gonna erase the lines that I just drew in that don't need to be there. So now we want to refine the features like his arms, his hands, Kong's hands and arms, So we want to get some detail into it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to draw his hand first of GodZilla. So we're going to draw, like, we have this arm right here. We want to draw a line that goes like this, then a line that goes like this, a line like that, and a line like that. And over here we want to have like a soft part of his hand. So now we're gonna draw his thumb over here. It kind of goes like this, and then it just goes straight that way. That's his thumb. Now you want to draw one of his claws. It goes up slightly and down, and then angled this way. So the way that I draw this is I get 1, 2, 3 lines on top, and then 1, 2 lines on the bottom, because it looks more like a claw that way, and it's easier to draw that way. So for his middle claw, just goes this way, 1 line, make sure you do 3 lines, 2 line, and then 3 line, and it goes back with only 2 lines. It makes it look a lot more like the GodZilla from the movie, in my opinion. And later on you can go back and refine it and make the lines look a little more clean and stuff. So for this one, because of the angle that it's in, I only draw 2 lines. And then we go with the soft part of his hand again. So basically his claws go back a little bit further, like this. He has very big and pronounced claws. His whole claw is about the same size as his whole jaw. I might have actually drawn his hand a little bit too big, but it's okay, I guess. I would say. Because also we have to look at perspective, and this hand is a lot closer than this head. So we also need to make sure that this hand of Kong right here has to be bigger than this hand right there, because of the perspective that we're standing at. And this would be shoulder, by the way. So I'm gonna make shoulder area. So we already drawn this whole arm. It's very complicated, to be honest, because my eraser is starting to fail me as well, because it just leaves such dirty spots. Very strange. But it's okay, because we're gonna go over it. It's very complicated to draw GodZilla's arms, because his arms are so extremely massive in comparison with any other dinosaur. So this would be the other arm, and it just goes down like this, and his claw would be right about here somewhere. And but we're not gonna draw that area, I guess. We're just gonna focus on the petal area that we're seeing right now. So let's get a little bit more detail into I'm gonna pick a different eraser, because I don't want to keep doing like the little smushing stains and everything on my drawing. I'm just gonna start erasing off the edges of this eraser, and then I can start erasing a little bit better. we can now erase the little helping lines, I guess, that we used. And yeah, right. I'm gonna try to erase this dirty stain right there. Didn't really work perfectly, but I guess it's fine. It's gonna be a dark area either way. Alright, so now let's get to some more detail at Kong's face. So Kong has like a couple of teeth sticking out of his mouth. So he has one right here, and then he has his canine right there, which is quite big and pronounced. We also see part of his other canine behind that one, and then you see a couple of different teeth right here. And I would say his mouth isn't like stretched out the way I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to erase this area because I want this area to be angled a little bit differently, I would say. I want it to be angled a little bit more like this. Because he has his lips slightly raised a little bit. And then just go with the same principles, like one teeth there, his canine right here. So this way I can also draw his teeth in a little bit bigger, like that and like that. Alright, this looks a little bit more like he's really screaming or roaring. I don't know what do gorillas do actually. Do they roar or do they scream? I would say roar because it sounds cooler, but I can't tell. So let's refine his chest area a little bit better. So what he has is he has a collarbone like right over here, and then one going this way as well, and that way we can kind of figure out where his neck will start and end, or his throat in this case. And then we want to draw in his huge chest muscles, like something like this, and of course his big belly as well. Get that in as well. So over here would be his shoulder right here, so we wouldn't be able to see past this point, and of course we would see his arm would kind of be like over here, his elbow would be about over there, and then he would have very big underarm muscles as well. So for this fist right here, the way that he has his hand angled is like it's like hanging a little bit, but it's pointing at the camera, so you won't be able to see most parts of his hand. So it's kind of tricky to get that right, I guess. So we have a knuckle right here, then we have a finger right here with a knuckle right there, and then we have a knuckle right here that's kind of more like this, a finger attached to it as well, and it's angled like that. Stops right there. Then over here this knuckle goes on like this, and then this finger right there, and then we have a knuckle that goes like this. Finger, same, pretty similar to everything else. And then his pinky finger would be about over here, which is really at a strange angle, I would say. So the angle is what makes it so strange and so difficult to draw. It's really difficult to draw. If I were you, I would just leave this part out, to be honest. And his belly area, by the way, would be a little bit more like this. Belly would be going out a little bit more. Alright, that's really, I mean, like, for me, that's pretty tough to draw, to be honest. I'm not really good at drawing in perspectives, and especially with something like this, I'm not really good at it. So I'm sorry for this part. I cannot give you the quality that you kind of deserve, but yeah, it's not really like I can change that effect for right now. So we can kind of see the other parts of his fingers still sticking out a little bit until over here, this pink. Alright, his pinky. Alright, so normally I would get a piece of paper so I can lay my hand on it, but I've got this thing now. Let's see if it works for these kind of drawings as well. I would say it's smart. No, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, basically I bought a drawing pad, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a like an area where you can draw it. Well, I can just show you. So basically it's a pad that you can use and draw digitally on, like this. I smudged it with my sweaty hands a little bit. So yeah, so I got this one with it, and it's a glove with that protects you from, well, I don't know, from touching your pad with your bare hands and ruining the drawing. But I need something to lay my hand upon so that I don't smudge the paper, and I could use this old piece of paper that I think I used before. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to map out all the knuckles, all the fingers and everything. So we're gonna start right here by drawing a knuckle right there, then another one right here, another one right here, and the last one would be kind of angled over there. That says pink, little pinky finger. Alright, so for his thumb is just a really strange looking thing right there. Like I said, it's really strange looking. It's very short, but we have to take into consideration that Kong is an ape, basically. So yeah, we want to draw a line like this for the starting of his fist, and then finger padding underneath. Make an area that is straight like that, and you want to make sure that the knuckle area is a little bit wider than all of his fingers. And here he has a knuckle area as well. So like I said, make sure that it's a little bit wider. He has very strange hands with very short fingers. And then we go straight into his arm from there. Really strange, to be honest. I mean, it's not the best drawing, but it's been a while since I lost. I've drawn for the last time. Alright. So basically we could get this hand in just for fun. So make sure you get 3 lines at the top area of his finger, and then just go straight to sort of just get 2 lines at the underside of his fingers. That way it will look a lot cooler, in my opinion. Unless you have like an angle like this, you might want to get a little bit more creative with your lines. No, I don't really like that angle, so I'm gonna erase it. Then I'm gonna stay with the 3 lines on the top and 2 lines on the bottom of the finger. This is kind of a tricky angle. I could just do it like this. But it looks unnatural. So what I could do, just create something like this, create something like this. So this way it looks like his claws are, he's retracting them a little. So that way it looks a little bit better. And as you can see, this claw is a little bit smaller than that one, but that's also because of the fact that this hand is farther away than this one. So this is going to be his wrist area, and we want to attach the muscular arm straight to it. Alright, so I would say that looks just fine. Now the final part for this well, for what we're doing right now is drawing in huge spikes and stuff on the back of GodZilla, which will be very easy if you do it right. So what you want to do is just create like a couple of, like, if you know how to draw flames, this would be kind of like drawing flames, to be honest. So every spike is different. It's really strange, to be honest, the way that these spikes look. But every area is very pointy, as long as you get that right. He has a couple over here as well. Go onto his neck. And they are very close to, they stand close to each other as well. And he has a couple of rows, so you have to make sure that you do draw in a couple of rows. So for example, if this would be the top view of GodZilla, he has 2 rows on the top and 2 rows on the sides, basically. So you can draw like a couple of areas over here as well. Just, they don't need to be perfect, and you could draw them extremely accurate if you wanted to, but this is the easiest way to do it. Alright, so now we are at the part where we could erase everything just slightly. Just go over it a little bit with your eraser so that the lines still exist. They just get thinner. They just get thinned out a little bit. This way you could erase your drawing, go over it again, but with a more steady hand, so that the lines look a lot cleaner. So I'm gonna do this part in time-lapse, because this is just, well, you don't really need instructions on how to do this. Just go over it and it will be fine. So yeah. Alright, so I would say that we are about done with the first part of this video. The next part of the video we will get into a little bit more of the making it look darker and exaggerating some things, making some things stand out a little bit more than other things. I'm pretty happy with the way that this particular part turned out. Looks I would say very accurate to my reference photo. This video turned out to be very long, so I might shorten it a little bit by editing some things out. But yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. So before we're gonna end this video, make sure you do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave a like and maybe leave a comment, because I do read every single comment. Literally, I read them daily. Sometimes I don't reply, but that's because at this point I get lots of comments, so it's hard to reply to everyone. I do try to reply to everyone. But yeah, make sure you leave a like, comment below what you think about the video and the drawing in general, and don't forget to subscribe. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.